China's not just a low trust society. China is a zero trust society. Sometimes it's better to show you something than to describe it. So let's take a look. Here we have a middle-aged street sweeper who's fallen down, and a woman comes to her rescue. I mean, I'm sure you would do the same thing, right? You see an elderly or middle-aged woman collapse, you'd run over and try to help her out, at least figure out what's going on. Well, now you're going to know why people don't do this in China. Because after the woman helped her, she went off, fetched some of her, I presume, family members, and they came over and demanded compensation, blaming the woman who helped her, saying that she is the one who caused her injury. I mean, luckily it's all caught on camera, because otherwise this poor woman, this Good Samaritan, would have actually been taken to court, would have had to try to prove that she was innocent, and most likely the judge and the court would have made her pay some kind of medical compensation towards this trickster, this old hag. And this is why you see all those countless videos of people who've fallen down in China and nobody goes to help them up. But it's not just this that creates this zero trust society in China. There are a lot more things, and I have a list. And I'm doing this for a reason, guys. Stick with me. Deep within the corporate offices of a data broker, something is happening behind closed doors. We're out to steal your info, your house number and street, your phone numbers and emails, the place you and friends meet, bad guys and advertisers, their pay, our daily treat. You cannot escape us. We're data broken bros. What if there is somebody who doesn't like you? Somebody who's a business competitor, somebody who's a jilted ex, anyone, a classmate, it doesn't matter who, a business colleague, someone who's out to cause trouble for you. They can pay private investigators who use special tools which gather information about you. I'm not talking about a Google search here. I'm talking about those nasty little tools that can find out exactly where you live, how much money you make, all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? All that information comes from data brokers. And there's a way to fight back, and it's incognito. I use incognito personally because I am a target of the Chinese government. So I don't only have the Chinese government and all their cronies after me, but all sorts of funny zealots and weirdos who want to prove themselves worthy of the Chinese government. I hate SerpentZA. Not only does incognito go out to these countless data broker websites and demand legally that they remove all of their information about you, but they also have a custom removal feature on their unlimited and family unlimited plan, which allows you to tell them, if you find your data on any website out there, you tell them and they'll go and get it removed. Go to incognito.com/Winston to get 60% off incognito. Use the code Winston. That's incognito.com/Winston. Use code Winston. And now, back to the show. We're going to start out with food safety. Food safety in China is a gamble. It's like playing Russian roulette. You've got gutter oil, which is literally used oil scraped out of the sewers and resold. Fake beef, zombie meat, food poisoning happening now at all the schools and colleges around the country. I mean, locals just assume that they're going to be lied to, so they have to build their own sort of little interactive map of safe shops to go to, safe markets, restaurants that they can trust. And of course, they spread the word in amongst their friends and family, because you can never trust the food quality in China. Culture Quickie with SerpentZA. This poor woman tried to help this old man across the street and was rewarded with a punch to the face, all because he thought she was trying to steal from him. Zero trust society. Surveillance instead of trust is the next thing we're going to talk about. China doesn't build trust, it builds surveillance. Cameras are on every corner, in elevators, on buses. You need real name ID for SIM cards, hotels, trains, even online comments. You cannot register your social media account without it being tied to your actual ID. You cannot do anything online unless it's tied to your face. You can't even go to an internet cafe without registering with your real name ID. The entire system assumes everyone is lying until proven innocent, and people just accept it because they don't trust each other. It's actually quite a nightmare. It's like living in 1984, except the problem is, if you actually have a problem and maybe someone steals from you or someone does something, surveillance never really helps. Trust me, I've had things stolen from me. Lots of people I know have had things stolen from them in China. When you try to look at the surveillance footage, it either was broken or it's not clear enough or they don't care. But you say anything bad about the government or something that somebody who's connected to the government doesn't like, that surveillance is suddenly crystal clear and works perfectly. So it works against you. Public shaming as control. Instead of building trust, schools and workplaces build fear. Bad students and lazy workers get their names and photos posted on public boards. It's humiliation as discipline. No encouragement, no support, just fear of being next. Because in a zero-trust society, fear works better than trust. No one trusts the police. Police are seen as predators, not protectors. They demand bribes, ignore crimes, and always side with locals over foreigners. And I'm not just talking about foreigners, I'm talking about people that are outside of the given city or town that you may be in. So if a Chinese person comes in from Hunan and they go into Guangdong, the Guangdong police will always side with the local Guangdong person. I've seen this happen countless times. Most victims don't even report crimes because they expect to be blamed for them. Law enforcement doesn't build trust, it destroys it. Next thing, no one trusts doctors. Hospitals in China feel more like chaotic marketplaces. Doctors get bonuses for selling expensive drugs, so they push pills you don't need, or skip real tests entirely. I mean, I know this. My wife's a doctor. I used to train doctors in China. You get these very annoying reps that go to the clinics and they'll be working for a drug company that sells generic drugs or fake drugs. So, they'll package it as if it's a real, ibuprofen type thing. And then they'll go and sell it with the real branding and everything, but it's a generic knockoff. And then they make sure that the lead doctor gets kickbacks and then everybody gets in on it. Everybody is getting a kickback. And of course, the more drugs you sell, the more money you make. So the doctors will prescribe extra medicine that's unnecessary. And unfortunately, because of all this mistrust, doctors are very often attacked and even murdered in China. This is, it's really quite a sad state of affairs. When people go to the hospital, it's all about making sure that your relative gets taken care of. So, if your relative's going in for surgery, you will pay the doctor a bribe. It is commonplace. Even my wife, who is a doctor who went in for surgery, had to give the red packet to her colleague who was going to operate on her. It's just the way it is. It's become part of the culture. Even if you don't see it as a bribe, you still do it anyway as kind of like a good luck gesture. You're like, I'm going to go under the knife. I'm going to pay the doctor who's going to, cut me up because I'm giving them an incentive to do a good job, because I'm giving them a little extra money on the side. But because of this, if you pay the doctor and you do all this, you grease all the palms, you go through all the steps, and then the patient dies, well, the families usually feel incredibly resentful, and they often go into the clinics and actually kill doctors. There's even a word for it, now, and it's become such a big deal that doctors have gone out and protested the fact that they're being targeted for violent attacks and murder. A huge issue in China. So when it comes to hospitals and doctors, it's more about outsmarting each other before someone either rips you off or kills you. Zero trust society. Fear, not trust, runs the system. Here's the truth. China doesn't run on trust. It runs on fear. People don't follow rules because they respect them. They follow rules because they're scared. The government doesn't trust the people. The people don't trust the government, and nobody trusts each other. That's why life in China feels like it's held together with fear, a little bit of glue, and duct tape. If you've lived in China, you've felt this. If you're a Chinese person, you've felt this. We all know it's true. But it's hidden so well, and the propagandists are working so hard to try and prove that China is a high-trust society these days. In fact, what they're trying to do is jump and ride on the coattails of countries like Japan, which do have a high-trust society. If you drop your wallet in a city in Japan, there's a high chance you'll get it back. Somebody will hand it in to the police. If you drop your wallet in a city in China, there's zero chance you'll get it back because it'll be stolen. That's just the way it goes. I would like to see this change. I would love to see China develop a high trust society, but unfortunately, that's just not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime. However, if we talk about these things, if we acknowledge that these problems exist, very often that can lead to a solution. It can at least try to push the authorities in that direction, try to make them enforce Good Samaritan laws, for instance, help them stop this endless cycle of people taking advantage of and cheating each other. Anyway, guys, next time someone tries to tell you that China's a high-trust society, go tell them to jump in a lake, because you know what? It's a bunch of bollocks. Anyway, stay awesome. Oh, and don't forget to check out my Friday show, The China Show. It's awesome. You're going to have a lot of fun. If you want to keep up on the latest news in China, the funny stuff, the propaganda, everything in between, join us.